So Emma, can you just give me a bit of a description as to, you were saying this is kind of your bad foot or it's sore. What sort of symptoms are you having?
Some tightness in the wall,
Yep.
which kind of seems to run up into here.
Yep.
It's quite sore. Feels like it needs to be pulled and cracked, but
Yep.
it's more than that, a little bit of inflammation.
Yep.
Sometimes when I walk, it feels like I can't fully flex my
Yeah.
toe
Yeah.
back because it's just been caught up in here in the ball.
Yep. Okay, cool.
I haven't had any injury there. It's just something that's kind of just
Just over time. Yeah. Yeah. No, I've had that myself. I know exactly how to treat it. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is focus mostly on her big toe because I'd rather help her with the area where she's actually having a problem first. All right. So I'm going to just get you to breathe throughout the treatment. Just relax inside yourself, take a deep breath, and I'll work within your pain threshold. Okay. So we're going to start just by warming the area up, and we can see already that she doesn't have a great range of flexibility, especially going this way at the moment. That's not moving that far that way. Okay, and not too bad this way, but certainly coming this way, it feels very tight. Like through here, we can feel how tight she is through there. There is tightness back here, but definitely this one seems like it's very tight. If we feel these two bands, again, you can see that instant reaction for her, and it feels very locked up sort of through here. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing, but let's have a feel on this side too, because this also feels very tight coming through here. And again, we can feel, and that's hitting her thresholds up there. All right, so I'm going to be focusing on this band, these two bands here, and this band, and then later on I might do a bit here as well. And what I want to do is, before I just follow the bands up and like do one band and follow it up, I want to do this whole toe, and I want to do it properly. And then because there's several bands coming up from the toe, and then I'll follow them up. But that's her immediate area anyway, so it's not like we're having to follow it up too hard. We just want to get this joint. And that's a good enough goal for this one treatment. I'm not going to take a big goal where I'm trying to do her whole body and loosen up. That's just way too big a task at the moment. Let's get her worst problem, fix that. Next treatment we can do that one. Okay. So before I get in with tools, I usually like to just play around a little bit here with my fingers just to get a bit of blood flow moving so it's not too intense, and I don't want to work her up at 9s or 10s right away. So you can see I'm not going in too hard. I'm just but she is incredibly sensitive in certain spots. And one area I noticed she's got a lot of sensitivity is right in here, okay? So that's also going to affect that joint. It's going to come in through here and really get right in here, okay? So, nice simple goal, and you can see how that toe is curling up quite a bit too. That's showing tension pulling from here, all right? So again, I'll just do a little bit of warming up through here. And throughout my warming up, I'm also sussing out where is her pain threshold at, how much can she handle. I can either do that intuitively or I can communicate with her and I can go, just give me a 10 when it's where you're going to tighten up against me. And and I can check on certain points like the intense ones. How's that for you? Out of 10?
Yeah.
Pretty close? Yeah. Okay. So again, a lot of my suspicions are going to come down to working this one and then working from this point, going this way and working this band, and going from this point working this way, and really getting the ends of these bands loose. Okay, I'm a bit short-sighted, so I see better close up without my glasses. Doesn't necessarily matter where I start in terms of either here or here, but I'm going to start here.
Just away from the nail.
Yeah, always start away from the nail, otherwise you're going into the nail bed and that's a bad pain.
Right,
yeah.
Just a couple of mils off.
That's right, a few mils off,
Right.
depending upon the...
That's where the nail's actually made as well. The matrix in there, so
Yeah.
you can actually damage.
Yeah, so don't go too close to the nail bed.
Right.
And I'm starting off fairly gentle, just to sort of have a feel of it. Yep. And we can see that we're hitting her thresholds there. She's breathing well, though. So I'm just going to hold that and let her breathe into it. And she can breathe, she can cry, she can scream, she can fart, she can burp, whatever she's comfortable with. Main thing is that she's comfortable.
So you're just holding on to that pressure there.
Yeah, now I'm increasing it a little bit.
Right.
And sometimes I'm holding it, and then sometimes I'm going to move it over as well, and just
so-
gently. And I can see there's a slight tendency to pull her leg back, so that we know that's where her limit is. And I'll come to the next spot, and I'll try and gauge it just to be under what she can handle there.
So
That's it?
Yeah.
it's going over the band, you're moving it over the band.
Yeah, and I'm moving it. Sometimes I might just hold it and let her breathe into it. Okay, and I'm paying attention to the micro and the macro. So the micro is where I'm working. The macro is her ability to breathe into it. Okay, and then a slight stimulation by moving it. Okay, and I know that's my maximum pressure that she's can handle. Okay, later she'll probably handle more as it loosens. And I'm going to work across that again, and I'm going, as the band comes out, I'm going a bit wider. You can really feel,
Oh, okay.
see how I'm going,
Yeah.
flicking over it more because
Over
it's
the
becoming
knuckle.
bigger. Yeah,
So that's before the knuckle line.
yeah,
Right.
just right on it. And now I'm going to come back and do it again.
Oh, right. Just to make double sure.
Yeah, because this tension's been there for a while. And I'm just letting her breathe into it. Oh, and I'm breathing in and letting go as well. So I'm not
Doing
holding
the
my breath.
exact same spots.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes in between them,
Yep.
but sometimes just, I can feel it, I've got rid of some of it, but some of it's still there. And I'm encouraging her to breathe. Going in a bit deeper. Again, we're right up there. She's starting to flinch a little bit. And then we can go, again, if we can start to go in through here. See if we can get this to loosen a bit.
Would you stretch the toe downwards while you do it or not?
You can stretch it like this. But now I'm going to give her a bit of a change because that's quite intense using that chopstick. So I might then use, oh, no, you hear that click? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to use my thumb because that's a bit more, like I say, my thumb's kind of nurturing compared to the chopstick. Yeah, and I'm following that up. Look, we can debate about that later.
It's nurturing.
Yeah. And again, flicking over that tendon there. You see how now I'm
That one, yep, yep.
flicking it over? And just running that right up to this part of the ankle on the delta band, yeah? Okay, and then I'm going to come back in. And again, come in through here. Just see if I can get a bit more out. And again, give her a little rest. We can see that's, and use my finger to roll over that. So it's dispersing. So the chopstick is very fine and it's breaking up that tension and really getting into it. And then my finger's gonna come in and disperse it and it's gonna flush it through her body, right? That's why we want her to breathe, let that go, and then later to drink plenty of water. Okay, and so I'm just working like this. And this is how, as beginners, you guys can also work this, until you're using chopsticks yourselves, or just working like this. And then I can just hold in here a little bit and move that joint. We can see how much resistance there is still in there. There's plenty of tightness in that joint, which is why it's acting up for her.
So you actually squeeze on top of the band or
I'm
between?
actually between, so just slightly to the edge of the band. No, it's good questions.
Yep.
And then I'm moving that joint because I just want to
Right.
open that joint up more.
Yep.
It's still very tight and very jammed. I can even feel a bit of tension in the back here now as well. The opposite. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm sort of doing some of the intense stuff with the chopstick, then giving her a rest, then doing some intense stuff with the chopstick, or giving a different move. But now I want to come in, that's like my first run. I did a couple runs there. But now I want to come in and also work from this area here.
So again, you're about the same distance from the nail.
That's right.
Okay. Right.
And again, I'm watching her tightening, her ability to handle it by the movement of her leg. And I'm trying to get right up there at the maximum that she can handle. And that's about it there. So, I'm just going to hold it there and let her breathe into it. Okay? Bit like acupuncture, but and I'm going to make sure I'm breathing. Okay? And I'll let her breathe a few times. And just feel it, and any feelings that are stored in there, they can come up too. And then I might go in ever so slightly more. You can see it just increase it a little bit and just see we're getting it. And she's still able to breathe into it. And then I might just take it off for a second, let her catch her breath. This is still an important stage because it's like opening up a dam wall, and she needs to process all the energy that was trapped behind that dam as we open it up. Okay? And I'll come back in and I'll work that point again. I could even change my tools, and I could come in with a more precise one. Yeah, she notices the difference. And I'm going in very gently. I'm almost just using the weight of the tool, but with just that little bit extra. Yeah. And I'm stimulating it slightly this time.
Okay.
See how I'm slightly moving her toe? So I'm trying to disperse that tension. So I'm bringing awareness to it, and then just letting her breathe. But my primary focus here is on her deep breathing, okay? And I'm just checking to see, I'm using that. I want to maximize the effectiveness of what I'm doing by making sure that she's breathing into it, and then slightly stimulating it, okay? And then I'll give that a little rest, and I'll come back with this one. But I'll actually just let her breathe a bit. Breathe through it, because we're stirring stuff up. This is what I call stuff that's creating this tension. Whatever it is, doesn't matter, and I don't really care. I'm just there to get rid of it. It's not going to do her any good. Okay, so again, we're watching that breath. We're watching her ability to handle it. Coming in with a chopstick to give her a bit of variety. That's, yeah.
That's in the same spot again.
The same, yeah. This is such an important spot right here.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Again, just moving different angles and letting her, so coming from different angles, just to again allow that to work.
Not increasing, but just moving.
Moving, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So a different angle, different point, letting her breathe into it, and then even just moving the whole toe. But
Right. Yep.
so the combination of applying the pressure with movement, okay, is going to help disperse it. The movement helps disperse it. I break it up with this point, and moving the toe helps disperse it. It means it's going to move up there, right? We want to make sure she's breathing and it's not pooling up in her head too much. You getting a lot of energy in your head, or is it you okay? Okay. So then we'll come back to that point. Again, not too intense, but just holding it and letting her breathe.
But are you increasing the pressure each time you do that, just slightly?
Only if I can.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So my main thing, and what dictates that, is can she handle that?
Can she do
So my
that?
most
Right.
important, right now I'm just kind of going in,
Okay.
not too much heavier at all. Just watching, letting her disperse that. And then more, right now I'm focused more about the movement. So I'm keeping that pressure there, I'm increasing it very slightly, and then I'm moving it to create that shift. And then now I'm going in slightly harder.
Yeah, I can see that straight
Yeah.
away that time. Yep.
Yeah, because she'll gradually get used to it as and then a bit harder, and then just let her have a rest for a second, and do a bit of other stuff like just moving around and stuff that's not so intense for her, just to allow her mind. You don't want to keep people up at that kind of high levels of intensity. So I'm coming back to this area where she's tight, and this is the source of tension through here and tension through here, and that's why that spot is so important, and tension coming this way. So it's like a full-on spot, and that's what I was saying. In the last few years, that spot to me has gone like, wow, that's like the center of a dartboard, or that's an amazing electrically charged spot, and it's full on. Yeah. Okay, so then I can go, okay, let's go this way, or let's go this way, or let's go